Welcome to The Lift with Sheila Robinson Kiss. Come on in. There's always a special place set aside for you here where you can relax, kick up your heels, pour yourself a nice, refreshing drink, and prepare to be lifted and soar. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much and welcome back. It's always wonderful to connect with you. This is The Lift with Sheila Robinson Kiss. We have mental health, movement, motivation, some of the best relationship advice around. So, it's been one heck of a year. And at the end of every year, we've been doing this. We're into year number 11 now. We take some time together and close it out with the interactive New Year, New You video message and workbook. If you don't have your workbook, just follow the link and I'll get you the New Year, New You workbook out. And I'll tell you, this is a wonderful time. I really love to dive into my workbook right before the new year to ground and to focus me and to really get me into that alignment. And so that's the whole purpose of our time together today, is to just do a bit of reflection. And then very specifically, I'm going to take you through these 8 pages or so. There's going to be pieces where I'm asking you to stop. At that time, just pause the video, get your tea, hot chocolate, whatever floats your boat, and let's do this together, as is the tradition. So, it's interesting. The new year means a lot of different things to folks. For me, I've always viewed it as that clean slate. It's a very special time of year, and don't sleep through it, guys. And I mean that metaphorically speaking, and in reality, it's just a very sacred space and time. You know that the ancient Babylonians, between the winter solstice and right before the new year began, they really took that time to contemplate this tension between chaos and goodness and order. And I will tell you, this has been a year. I've been challenged in this year in ways that have pulled me, stretched me. There's been tears, there's been celebration, but more than that, COVID-19 brought this energy in. We've been surrounded by so much death, but inside of that death, there has also been tremendous opportunities for rebirth, for clarity, getting priorities straight, all manner of healing. Some of us really needed to reprioritize this year. So more so than any other year, I think it's really prime to get a nice clear focus on the direction you want to take things in. So having said that, please break out your workbook. If you don't have it, again, just follow the link. I'll get it out to you ASAP. And the first thing that I want to ask you to do, and this has been a joy for many years, is create a theme. Create a theme for yourself. I'm going to give you some examples of some themes that I've come up with in the past, or other folks I've worked with have come up with. So it's my turn. Someone just told me that yesterday, Sheila, I really feel like it's my turn. So I'm taking my turn. Year before last, I created the theme Slay the Dragon. I was just in that mood. Slay the dragon. Make it happen. Someone else a few days ago said to me, Sheila, it's out with the old, in with the new. And so she came up with the theme, if it ain't new, I'm through. It's cute. If it ain't new, I am totally through. So I want you to really to really think about what is a theme that you can have fun with. You can play with this, but the theme is serious in that it serves as your anchor. It's not a matter of if we'll get off the track, it's really when. So when those moments come, you want a theme that's really designed to travel with you throughout this year and anchor you and direct you and support you toward your growth and your goals. My theme this year, with no apologies, is the wait is over. The wait is over. Well, Sheila, what wait? What have you been waiting for? Stay tuned. Stay tuned. Follow me on YouTube. Keep in touch, and you'll see it unfold this year. So again, your theme is personalized to you. So that's the first thing I want you to do. Go ahead and stop the video. If you need to, take some time and think about your theme and then come back to it. Wonderful. So the next thing I want you to do, I'm still on that first page. I want you to really sit and ask yourself, why did I choose that theme? What is your why? You want to be very crystal clear on that. The individual I spoke of just a few minutes ago, her theme was all around newness, and that strong feeling that I've been in such levels of stagnation. And she picked that theme because it was going to be so important coming into this fabulous year that we're poised for 2021. Let's face it, it can't go anywhere but up from the year we've all made it through. She said, I realized that I'm going to have to challenge myself with a theme that pulls me into the new. I've been so afraid to venture out, try new things, to XYZ. So again, that's the thematic that she pulled in, and I think it will be a beautiful anchor for her. So take a moment, stop the video if you need to. I'm not going anywhere, and really get clear. Write out why. Why did I choose that theme? Okay, and when you've done that, we're traveling into page number 2 together, and I love the title on this page, permission to manifest. Permission to manifest. There's so many books written about manifestation, thousands of videos, and let's face it, they're all intriguing, it's interesting. But one of the things that I've learned over the years is the key to manifestation, as I see it, is getting out of your head. So many of us, it's like, why isn't it happening? I'm thinking about it all the time. You can actually trick yourself when you stay into such the heavy energy of thought. Say, well, how come things aren't moving forward? I'm so frustrated. I'll tell you why you're frustrated. Because it's on your mind all the time, and you're mistaking what is on your mind with what you are implementing. So what I've discovered over the years is the key ingredient is get out of your head, get into implementation, get into the feelings behind, before, around, and through implementation. You will find all your motivation in the doing. Let me repeat that. Your motivation, your inspiration is found when you observe yourself actually doing. When you find yourself in frustration and stagnation, if you stop, just take a breath and look, you will find you're doing far more thinking and ruminating than implementing the things that will sustain balance, that will drive success. And let me stop and do a sidebar. When I say the word success, we automatically go to work success, success for material things. Those things are lovely, fantastic, great, exciting. But I'm inviting you to expand your definition of success, because so much of that is linked to what we call the intangibles. Are you able to feel good? Are you able to experience your joy? Are you able to walk in true levels of peace and balance? Are you able, because you are walking in peace and balance, to be a blessing and to serve others? What about your spiritual growth and development? So I encourage everyone, your definition of success, it's exclusively yours, not mine. But I would invite you, expand it in ways that feel good and right to you. So I'm still working on page number 2. The question is, what do I want to create? I broke this down into a few areas. What do I want to create in the area of love and relationships this year? What do I want to create in the area of love and relationships? And beyond that, what do I need to do to manifest this? I'll never forget, I sat with a gentleman some years ago. He was in his late 30s, and he said to me, I don't understand. I have so much to offer. I want to meet a wonderful person, share my life, maybe start a family, and was just very adamant that he had not been able to find that special person. Go down the road, ask a few more questions. How often are you getting out? What does that look like? It wasn't much. Wasn't much. It's not going to happen if you're working 24/7. You're not keeping in contact with your social network. Um, Great fantasy that someone's just going to knock on your door. It really doesn't work that way. And on top of that, he had a very debilitating narrative, around companionship, around himself. I cannot stress it enough. When you're setting the ideal conditions for manifestation in your life, you are absolutely going to respond exclusively to the narrative that you're building around your mind. If your narrative is constantly, it's just hard, it's just too hard out here to meet someone, how is this going to happen? It's over before it started. It really is. So again, the keys when we're talking about permission to manifest, get outside of your thoughts, get into action, get into implementation. And another thing, guys, it's uncomfortable. Change is, it can feel sticky, it can feel hard, it can feel intimidating. But I'll tell you something, prepare yourself for that. Because if you're not prepared for that, the first kind of uncomfortable pangs that hit you, oh, this is too much. Understand that when you're moving into new territory or you're expanding territory, there will be discomfort. I'm still on the second page. Question number 2. What do I want to create in the area of mental health and self-care this year? I added that question because for me, all roads lead back to mental health. I think 2020 has been the quintessential year to showcase the necessity of having a life resiliency plan put together for yourself, building those solid levels of mental health that will help you power through adversity. That is key. I'd like you to really stop and answer that question. What do I want to create in the area of mental health and self-care this year? I want to give you a couple suggestions here, sidebar. I want everyone to spend the first couple weeks in January. Please build out what I call the Karen Connection calendar. Get those lunches, Zooms, um, the cool stuff, the fun stuff, the self-care days. Get those on the calendar in advance. Why? Because when you do that, I say this again and again, number one, it's going to be an instant 30% reduction in stress just by giving yourself something to look forward to, something you have planned. That in and of itself is a form of self-care. Second piece, it's really going to help you start to ritualize and start building different habits for yourself. And you can put it on your phone. That's fine. Whatever you do, whether you have a calendar that you're writing in with your pencil or color pencils, have it somewhere where you can see it daily. You can see yourself actually forming these habits. You may have some dormant friendships or relationships. Give them a call. Get them on that calendar. Give them a couple months, 3 months in advance. Hey, how about that? The third Friday in April, let's grab some lunch together. That's how I do it. There are a number of people that I care about in my life. They're very busy. I respect that. They respect me, but we get on each other's calendars, you guys. It's really key in terms of your closer, your friends, your family that you see every day. They should be on that care and connection calendar too. Your outings, special things that you want to do, build it out. I've seen people go crazy with this in a good way. So it's really about sitting down, making the commitment, and making your mental health a priority. If this is the year you feel like you need to connect with someone for additional support, a health professional, counselor, therapist, do that. If this is the year you feel like, what, I really need to get more active, I need to get in the gym, do that. It's very individual. But I think when we raise our hands and really say, what, it's time for some change, or it's time. I saw myself last year knock the ball apart. I want to continue that. You do that for yourself. You raise your hand because the value and understanding your worth and where you want to take your life, you have to be good to do that. If you're not good, everything stops. I have a lot of busy moms and dads that I work with. I don't, where am I going to find this time? I always turn the question around. I don't see how you can afford not to take the time. And part of this is deciding what you may have to decide what I need to drop. It's not always what I need to pick up, what I need to write on the calendar. Sometimes it's what do I need to let go of in order to create more space for some sanctuary, serenity, balance, and peace. Third question on the second page: what do I want to create in the area of work? What do I want in the area of work and purpose this year? I firmly believe, this is a channel. We talk about mental health, the clinical aspects, the practical aspects, but it's also the underbelly of this channel is a spiritual channel as well. And I firmly believe that everyone comes to this planet with a core purpose. There are things that you are specifically designed to do. No one is going to carry out that mission for you, and no one can carry out that mission except you. Getting clear on what you want to manifest. And I have a lot of people say, Sheila, I don't even know. I'm so busy. I don't even know what makes my heart sing anymore. If you sit long enough, and what I've seen is oftentimes people know, but it scares the hell out of them. They may be so disconnected from it that it can actually be scary to really sit and open up that aspect of your heart, body, mind, spirit, soul, because you know that to connect to that purpose, to that passion, it may pull you out of your comfort zone. I don't know. It may be something as simple as signing up for a class. It may be something a little bit deeper, relationship repair. I don't know. It may mean change in your career, but I encourage honesty. Life is based on truth and intention. And so when you have the courage to just look it square in the eye, that's the pathway. That's where it starts. So please take some time if you need to stop the video for a moment and just answer that third question on the second page. Fantastic. And we're moving to the next page, and you'll see at the top it says, at my best in 2021. That is my heartfelt wish for you, that you will function at your best. That's what this work is about for me. I've been very candid with all of you. There's over 700 videos, maybe more, on the channel now. I've lost track of it. I've had this channel for so long, but I've been very candid that I'm a woman who's traveled many roads. You know, I know what it feels like to be in isolation, to be broken, to be lonely, all these things. And I know what it feels like to be living and existing inside of um, splendid mental health and balance. And I have to tell you, when you are walking in balance, you free up so much energy. You free up so much energy to live at your best, to do your best, to be your best. I've been enjoying these online symposiums about the evolution of the species, you know, different animals, different things like that. And you say, well, Sheila, what the heck does that have to do with New Year, New You? I bring up that point because there's a point in my life, my soul was so unsettled. I wanted to do those things. I wanted to move into just different realms, enjoy different aspects of the world and of existence, but you cannot do that. You can't do that when you're out of balance. But when you're in balance, you are free. Life becomes just a wonderful, rich buffet because your spirit, your mind, you're settled, you're good, you're at your best. So you can do things like take a half a day and just learn about a new species or fully connect with your children when you're playing and be silly or just sit in the dark. One of my clients, she said, Sheila, one of my favorite things to do is I like to turn off all the lights in my room. I like to light the candles and I just like to enjoy the silence. I love that. I do that a couple times a week. See, these are the things, these are the intangibles, those little things, these pockets of joy that you can access so readily inside of healed states of mind. So I ask you to jump into this celebration with me and answer the following questions. I'm at my best when I am what? When are you at your best? Because I don't know about you, but I feel on top of the world when I'm doing things that I love. Therefore, that's where the vast majority of my focus is. I feel my best when I am thinking about what? Okay, and then moving along on the page, I am inspired by what? And I am unstoppable when. You know, I'm what I find truly inspiring is when I receive a letter, like I heard from V, which I featured her on one of my videos last month, who had just connected with some of the messages and now she's back in school building a new life for her daughter. I'm inspired when I get notes. I heard from a subscriber a few weeks ago, Jeremy, and said, you know what, Sheila, I'm out of the toxic relationship. This is the first time in my life I don't feel pressed to look for someone and to, you know, I feel complete. I feel like I may want to, when this COVID is behind us, I want to take a couple years to travel. I want to read. I want to go to some interesting places. But Sheila, I celebrate because it's the first time in my life I don't feel like I'm in such desperate need. That's inspirational for me. I love that. What inspires you? And these are individuals that have touched uh, deep, deep levels of mental health, and that is my wish for everyone. And when you feel, you know, Sheila, I'm functioning at my best, and I've turned the page, headed focusing on what matters in 2021. And when you're at your best, you can literally say, wait a minute, let me stop. I get to choose. I get to choose what I'm going to focus on. One of my clients, honored to work with him, is a pilot, a fighter pilot. And it's been interesting, just as sidebar and side conversations, learning a little bit about um, you know, aviation and how all of that operates. And this particular person came from very challenging beginnings. And I've asked on a few occasions, how does it feel? How does it feel up there to be in this literally and figuratively elite position? And he said to me, Sheila, it feels like it's what everything that I focused on come to life every time. From a little boy, my heart and my spirit was focused on flying, and then I started in the military, and the focus never waned. And I think his story, as magnificent as it is, it just really illustrates whatever you focus on is literally what is going to manifest and what you're going to create in your life. So can you imagine this continuum of evolution that runs from a 6 or 7 year old boy to a 40 something year old man? All the common denominator is flight, aviation. So maybe that's not your thing, but I'm going to ask you, where do you choose to have your focus this year? I'm in that first question. What matters? What what matters in your life, really? um, that's where your focus. I invite you to place your focus there. I work with so many people every year that you know focused on your neighbors. You're in their business a little bit, focused on what happened 10 years ago, 3 years ago, and wondering, why is my life not moving forward? Because your focus is not forward. I wrote in one of my books, it's a quote, and I came up with a quote because it was at a time in my life when I too was kind of looking backwards. My focus was backward, but I was trying to walk forward. It's incompatible. So I want you to remember these words. Many a man or woman, many a man or woman has lost a brightly lit future because of the insistence on gripping a dimly lit past. Get your focus, get your eyes, get your spirit, get your soul on what you want to manifest. The second question there: who matters in my life? Who matters in my life? And then my why. Why do I do what I do? When you get clear on why you do what you do, and that has everything to do with understanding what your purpose and what your passion is. When you get clear on your why, everyone else will get clear on your why. The world will get clear on your why. The hand of God gets clear on your why and applauds you. Okay, I was wondering when you're going to wake up and realize that. And then you will see things start to fall in place. I see it all the time when people realize that energy, there's an energy behind them, and you will see them move. I won't say like a Mack truck. If it's a Mack truck, it's an elegant and graceful one. But there's a focus, like those submarines that just move through the sea, and get out of the way, get out of the way, or else you're gonna, you don't want to be mowed over. So the focus and the momentum is there, and that is connected to your why. And in case you don't know, I say it often. My why and why I do this work is because I know the difference. I've lived the difference, and I want everyone to experience living in elevated and peaceful states, because that's when the party begins. Okay, I'm turning the page, page 6. This is really one of my favorite pages in the packet, because I'm asking you to do something that we seldom, if ever, do. That is to really zero in on the gift of your energy. Who will receive the gift of my energy this year? You guys, I have it all laid out here for you. There are 3 boxes on this page, and I ask you about active energy, passive energy, or no energy at all. Active energy, this is a hobby, a person, a mood, a state of mind, a thought that I am going to be very engaged and focused. Put them in the active energy list. And again, these can be people, hobbies, moods, a state of mind. You want to get clear on where your energy is going this year. Secondly, passive energy. I place minimal energy here. You know, this is where it's just more, a little bit more passive. And then no energy. I choose to place no energy here. Again, you can put in these columns a place, people, hobbies, moods, state of mind, or thoughts. So it's clarifying. I can remember over the years kind of getting sidetracked. And by the way, keep your workbook. Keep your workbook handy, because this is fluid. You're going to be revisiting this at least twice monthly to ensure that you're staying on track. And I remember getting off track, a certain person, a relationship, and I looked and I said, oh my goodness, this doesn't seem like passive energy to me. Seems like you got a lot of energy going down a black hole. Let's get that straightened up. So it's a reminder. This will cue you on, you know, what had you decided at the start of the year. So this is a wonderful tool you have here to really keep yourself focused throughout the year. I was working with actually one of my favorite clients, a 17-year-old, some years ago, and he says to me, in the innocence of a young person crossing over from a child to adulthood, said, you know, Sheila, I've been with this girl for over a year. I do so much. I'm trying so hard, and it's just like nothing is coming back at me. And I said, well, what do you think that means? And he said, Sheila, I don't know what it means, but it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good. Had a long conversation with him about energy, not just being respectful of your energy and what you're putting out, but also paying attention and, quite frankly, being respectful of the energy that's coming back at you or not coming back at you. I look at everything in life as a form of energy. You know, there's thought energy, there's positive energy, there's negative energy, you know, there's focused energy. So when you look at it like that, your energy is precious because it's linked to your time, and it's something you really can't get back. So on this page, if you need to stop the video, do so. I really want you to think, where has your time been going? Is that serving you well? Is it serving other people well? Is it lifting you up? Is it tearing you down? I really want you to think, who's getting your energy? What is getting your energy? You know, I have a 8-year-old daughter, and it's interesting. Last year, she said to me, she's playing with one of her little friends, and she said, every time we play, you know, she's okay sometimes, but then she turns very mean. She turns very mean, and when she gets mean, I get so tired. You know, this is my daughter, so of course she's gonna, apple doesn't fall far from the tree. And I said to her, well, you know, the best people you're gonna meet, sweetheart, are the ones that make your heart feel bigger. You don't feel tired. You don't feel sad. You feel good. So pay attention. Pay attention when you're around your friends, how you feel, because maybe they'll end up being a real friend and maybe they won't. But I want you to pay attention to those feelings. So I'm telling you the same thing that I said to her. Pay attention to what comes up in terms of energy, emotions, feelings when you're doing certain activities, when you're around certain people, because it all leaves clues. And we're moving into another wonderful page, page 7. The greatest lessons. I'm asking you to write down and really dive into this, because again, you're keeping this workbook with you through the year. through the year, what are the greatest lessons that you've learned? These are your takeaways. There's a lot, quite frankly, that I'm thrilled to leave behind in 2020, but I had some very pivotal lessons this year. Um, one of the great lessons had to do with the absolute power of rooting and grounding myself and hopefully yourself in um, daily blessings. Um, how wonderful it is to validate and affirm ourselves in a world that doesn't do it often enough. We don't do it enough for each other. We don't do it for ourselves often enough. Also, lessons around truth and intention. And I mentioned that before. I think you really have to pay attention to what people are announcing to you, to what communities announce to you, to what the world announces to you, and make some firm decisions on what you want to do with that truth. A great lesson that I learned that I will take from 2020 is there is always a silver lining. You know, this year was tough. I know a number of people who are not here, who passed on, and I have to tell you that the silver lining in that is we don't have the luxury of time that we think we have. I think we, fantasize and get lulled away into this thought process. Oh, tomorrow, I'll do it tomorrow, or, I have enough time to act on this idea or to act on this dream or to call this person. You really don't. You really don't. And I tied my thematic this year of the wait is over into all the lessons that I take from 2020. And I will tell you, I'm very crystal clear. Tomorrow is not promised. Life is unpredictable at best. You have to maximize every single moment, and every single moment is precious. So if you need to stop the video if you like. Um, what what have been your greatest lessons? What are you really gonna pull? What are you really gonna pull with you into 2021? Oh, and I also have to tell you another huge takeaway. But I took this away from 2019 and 2020. Um, People can't do anything to you that you don't allow them to do in terms of affecting your life, your thought process, your mood. You have to give permission. If someone is attempting or tries to disempower you, in order for that circle and that cycle to complete itself, you have to grant them permission to do that on some level. So that's another little nugget to take away. So please write down your greatest lessons. And then lastly, to close it out, I declare, I declare. What do you declare? I declare 2021 will what? Will be amazing, will be the most balanced, grounded year, will be the year to catapult, will be my year of truth. Whatever you declare 2021 will be, I want you to write it down. Again, this workbook will stay with you throughout the year. I will stay with you throughout the year. On that note, I wish you an amazing new year. If you're loving what I'm doing, please do subscribe to the channel. Share the news of the channel also with your friends and family. 2021 is going to be off the chain. I have some really interesting content that I'm working on for all of you. Make sure you dive into that Inner Child series. I have some epic retreats coming up in 2021. Plan ahead. I'm going to be putting that calendar out shortly. Come out, meet me, feel the love, feel the warmth, feel the elevation. I'm so gratified to be taking this journey with you. This channel, connecting with you, is one of the best parts of my life. Together, we're going to knock the ball out of the park this year. Stay connected. I'll see you soon. Have a wonderful new year.